My name's OQ, and this week in the NBA.
Towns has a reputation of doing it, so.
Marketing on the move, the throwdown. Right in Gobert's face.
Offense right now for Dallas. This guy will not be indecisive. He bounces him out yet again. 32.
So basically, this week in the NBA is a segment, episode, I don't know what you want to call it, where we're going to really talk about what's happened this week in the NBA as of right now. NBA season started, we're about a quarter of the way through, which feels like it's gone pretty quick, I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, the NBA season is well underway. And first thing I want to talk about is, because we're a quarter of the way in, I wanted to talk about my awards race in each category. So, for my MVP, I have Bradley. For my MVP, I have Luka Doncic. There's a lot of different people it could be. Could be Steph Curry. I'm not wearing a Curry jersey today. I got the GOAT on display. If you can see, the greatest player of all time. No, that's the greatest player of all time. His jersey's behind there, but that's the second greatest player of all time. The best player of our generation. But I ain't got the Stephen Curry t-shirt on today. But I can tell you he's probably top 4 in my MVP race. But my MVP has to be Luka Doncic so far. He's averaging 33 points per game. He's averaging 9 assists, and he's averaging 9 rebounds, which is crazy for someone who's not as blam. I'm not looking blam right now. He's someone who's as not blam as the Luka Doncic, and he's also averaging 1.9 steals, which is quite high for him as well. Usage rate is 37.3%. which shows you the tools he hasn't got in his team. The only two people that are higher are Joel Embiid and Kevin Durant, both of which their secondary star hasn't played most of the season. So like, his secondary star's played the entire time, Christian Wood has, who we'll talk about later. But his secondary star has played, but he still has a 37.3% usage rate, which is ungodly, to be honest. Only person who came near in NBA history that I can think of is someone like, what's my man's name? James Harden, you know, the guy that fell off. I'm joking, by the way. The only person close is probably James Harden that I can think of in NBA history. So Luka Doncic is playing real heliocentric basketball on a consistent basis. This lighting, this is why I hate the sun. Like, why is the lighting just changing constantly? Like, just pattern up, like. Dumb son. But yeah, Luka Doncic has been elite, and I think especially he's got a winning record right now. Not great, 9-7, but he can still do better. He hasn't got an easy schedule coming up. He's got some of the best teams in the NBA. He's playing the Raptors, he's playing the Bulls, he's playing the Bucks coming up. So he hasn't got easy games, but coming out of that, he does have an easy run. So hopefully they can progress, and Luka Doncic can finally win that MVP that everyone's been saying he deserves since his rookie year. So my MVP right now, Luka Doncic. So the next award I wanted to look at was the Sixth Man of the Year. Sixth Man of the Year, I had loads of different candidates. So my first one was probably Christian Wood. Christian Wood, Luka Doncic's secondary star. He's been really, really, really good. He's averaging 16.6, averaging 7.5 rebounds, and he's averaging an assist. But the difference between him and other candidates is he's only averaging under 24.5 minutes per game. He's averaging under 25 minutes per game, and he's still putting up near enough 17 points per game on a team that has a winning record as well. So it's not like he comes in and he's just a spark plug, but he's actually contributing to winning basketball. So I think Christian Wood has a fair shot at winning Sixth Man of the Year. He's shooting 57% from the field, and he's shooting 43% from 3. I think that's the number. Yeah, it's shooting 43% from 3. I have an iPad here, but I have to scroll, so I can't be asked to scroll. So I think he's shooting 43% from 3. And yeah, he's been really, really good. He's helping to be that scoring option for Luka Doncic, because playing heliocentric basketball, you need to be able to have people that can knock down shots for you. And on a catch and shoot, Christian Wood has been elite. Even in the paint, he's been elite. My second candidate is Russell Westbrook. He started the season quite poorly, I will say he started it bad, but since he's been coming off the bench, since he's been running that second unit, he's been elite. He's been back to good old Russell Westbrook. When he was starting, he was averaging 15.8 points. He was averaging 5.2 rebounds, and he was averaging 7.5 assists. He was shooting 40.6% from the field, and he was shooting 33.3% from three. Those aren't amazing numbers. Shooting 40% from the field is pretty bad, really bad. But since he's come off the bench, he's improved. Now he's scoring 17.2 points, he's averaging 8.3 rebounds, and he's averaging 4.8 assists. But what's really improved is he's shooting 38.9% from three, which is a good 3-point percentage for any given player. So I think once LeBron James comes back into the team and the Lakers start winning again, they have a real chance with Russell Westbrook coming off the bench of trying to aim for a play-in spot. I don't think they're getting a playoff spot, top 6 seed, and I don't think they're anywhere near good enough to be a lock in the play-in. So I think it will take a lot of pushing and a lot of defense from Darvin Ham, but I do think they can try to get that play-in spot. They've been pretty okay since Russell Westbrook has started running the second unit. They still need more shooting in their team, but hopefully they can pull up a few trades, maybe get in a Mouse Turner or someone, and they can push forward to the play-in spot. Another shot for Sixth Man of the Year. He's probably not going to win it, but I do want to give a shout out to John Wall. I think John Wall needs to start. He needs to start. #start John Wall. John Wall needs to start for the Clippers. Reggie Jackson, I love you. No, I'm joking. I don't really love you. I think you're okay. But John Wall is objectively a better player than Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson scores off the bench. That's the type of player he is. Whereas a player like John Wall can facilitate an offense. He can run playing. He can play off ball. He can be a catch and shoot threat if you want him to be. And I think the playmaking is just too important to not have in the starting five. And I think the Clippers would be so much better. They have a decent record right now, but I think they could be so much better if you start John Wall. So John Wall, I love you. Hopefully you get a start. Now for my most improved candidate, I think there's only one real candidate. Before we get into the real candidate, I do want to give a shout out to Tyrese Halliburton, who's made a massive jump forward this year. Double-digit points and assists, 20 plus points and double-digit assists, which is elite stat line for any point guard in the league, and he's definitely going to be an all-star this year without a doubt. If he isn't, then it's a sham, to be honest. And I didn't want to give him a shout out because I think he deserved most improved, but really and truly, people say I look like Tyrese Halliburton, so I'm going to put myself on this side and I put Tyrese Halliburton next to me, and I want you to tell me if I look like him. I don't think I do. I think it's just a low cut. Let me take off my hat as well. Trim's not it, but I look nothing like him, I know. So my most improved player this season is Lauri Markkanen. Lowry Bird, that's what I'm gonna call him, and I think everyone else will start calling him that as well, because he's been a shooting monster. Even inside the paint, he's been a monster. Even defensively, he's been a monster. He is currently averaging 22.8 points, he's averaging 8.4 rebounds, and he's averaging just above 4 assists per game. He's shooting 56% from the field, and he's shooting 43% from three. The Jazz have been tremendous, and I think Lauri Markkanen is probably the main reason for this. He's taken his game up another level. One important stat I did see, an advanced stat that I saw, is with any player that has faced more than 80 rim contests in the league, so that have faced 80 people coming at them in the rim, Lauri Markkanen has the lowest defensive field goal percentage of 52.9%. That means that when people are attacking him, they're just not scoring. And he's scoring the ball, and his defense has gone up tremendously. So Lauri Markkanen has become immense. The Wizards played the Jazz the other day, and it was like a different player. Catch and shoot, he's always been really good for quite a tall player, but he was able to run down the floor and get in the paint, and there was just a confidence in him. It feels good to see a player like last season. Ja Morant won most improved, and I think that probably should have gone to Jordan Poole maybe, or even a Desmond Bain, to be honest, that deserved it, because they weren't expected to be as good. And that's the same thing for Lauri Markkanen. No one expected him to be an all-star, and he's coming into this, and he's probably an all-star this year so far. He only has a 24% usage rate, which shows just how good he's been given the fact he doesn't have as many touches of the ball as other players do in the league. And I think given the Jazz's record right now, that Lauri Markkanen deserves to be an all-star this year, and so far he is my most improved player of the year. So starting off next week, these videos will be more, when I have a topic I want to talk about, we'll talk about a topic, but mostly we'll be talking about the games. I don't know who's playing today. I think the Bucks are playing the Bulls, and I know that the Wizards are playing the Heat, and I think we're going to lose. FedEx Arena, Miami, hot. Or maybe this is Bradley Beal's audition game. So those are my current rankings for the awards, and who I think, given the current climate of the season and how people have performed, who deserves each award. I think they might still change. I think that Nikola Jokic has a say in the MVP. I think Steph Curry has a say in the MVP. I think Giannis and Jason Tatum have says in the MVP, especially given Jokic, his team has been bad without him, like really, really bad, which shows his value as a whole. Like they've been like nail scratching on a chalkboard bad. I don't know, some people might like that. If you like nails scratching on a chalkboard, first, you're weird, and second, you're weird. Hopefully the Nuggets can push on and Nikola Jokic can have another MVP race, because 3 in a row would be tremendous. But so far I've got Luka Doncic winning it. So finally, if you want to like, comment and subscribe, it'd be greatly appreciated. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.